So, when did we first find out about the earthquake in New Zealand?
Well, it hit the news overnight, but we have SRT's response team members based in New Zealand. Actually, we have one guy, Walter, who lives in Christchurch, so he was actually there when it happened. And they got in touch with Lasse Peterson, who's the international director, who is based in Australia, and they started to mobilise themselves immediately and let me know that they were kind of on their route, which is great because we encouraged the guys to take the initiative. They were there, we got an understanding of what's going on, so they made a start. So I picked it up early hours of this morning once they'd started to give me some substantial reports about what's happening, and I could then get involved in terms of actually planning the team and crucially planning the logistics.
What were those reports?
Well, the initial reports were, what Walter could see on the ground. So he could see, the church at the end of his street that had collapsed. He was talking about the devastation around him. But overwhelmingly, by the time I get involved, we're talking about the practicalities of what we can do. So, though we get a bit of a reflection of what's happening at the time, what we really need to talk about is the freight, the logistics, what we can do to help.
So talk me through what that response would involve.
Well, initially we would have pre-positioned stocks in Australia, and so we're looking at how quickly we can move that into Christchurch, but also what we can mobilise from here, what's needed. So we're looking at boxes, we're looking at the ShelterBox itself, we're looking at tents, we're looking at what people are going to need right there and then.
And how quickly will that response happen?
Well, we've got people on the ground already. They're going to look at what's absolutely needed. We can get shelter boxes moved from Australia within a day or so, and we can mobilise from here within a couple of days. So it's only going to be a few days before the main effort arrives, and we have guys on the ground working immediately.
And what are the next steps in the next sort of 24 hours?
The next 24 hours will really see how much need there is and whether shelter box is needed in this situation. New Zealand is a well-developed country. It's got a good infrastructure. They've got a certain amount of earthquake proofing of buildings. So I don't know that we are going to be needed. But the trick is to be proactive, move ahead of schedule, move the logistics on, get boxes ready. Because if they're not needed, we can still store in New Zealand and use them for other disasters in the region. So it's not a wasted effort.
Okay.